Hello everyone, and welcome to Slay the Spire 2. Today we're playing Defect, and yeah, this is a recorded run I had. I'm doing a voiceover because, as it turns out, it's very tough to get a good run going while also commentating, and after multiple attempts, I had to give up and just record a good run and do this instead. So I've picked up the relic that upgrades your first three cards that you receive, but you get um, no relic at the end. Or sorry, the first chest doesn't have a relic in it. And yeah, I usually go for a couple of elites, so that's what I mapped out. And here I pick up the thunder upgrade, and since we already have the upgraded version, it's already dealing 8 damage, so it's a very good start for me. We're taking some damage here, but it's a Ascension 0 run, so we started at full HP anyway, so not a big deal. And at this point, it was pretty much clear to me that I'll be going for the Thunderstrike run, but we still need some card draw, maybe some extra shielding, so Cool-Headed was definitely a good choice. And here, some focus and of course removal of the strike is in order. And from here on out, it becomes quite straightforward. So the plan really is pick up anything with the lightning on it, or evoke, so that we may evoke the orbs and trigger the thunder power. And of course, use the hotfix anytime just to increase the damage of our lightning. Here, a tough choice. I usually don't go for many copies of the same power, but here, again, low ascension, it felt like just the right call. 16 damage every time you evoke your lightning, which deals 8 damage. On top of that, that's 24 damage immediately. Quite good. And we also have the X card, the Tempest, which can give us multiple lightning orbs and evoke them at the same time. So fights become quite fast. Here we get the Tesla coil, which just plays right into our plan of doing many lightning orb attacks. So a good setup turn here. We aim for a quick fight against the rock parasite. There is a little bit of a downside with this build and just the lightning itself, is that you don't really have that much AoE, so you kind of hope for big big hits on some targets just to clear them out, and of course you pray for good RNG so that the orbs hit the right targets. But here, luckily, we have so much damage that we don't even need the area of effect. Yeah, the Tea Master is a bad event, in my opinion. You just lose gold here, and empty chest. Here we could probably go for an upgrade, and because we do have another rest side coming, and Tempest being +1, meaning that even at 0 energy we would still gain 1 orb, seems quite reasonable. Removing card, always good option. Honestly, in the current iteration of the game, thin decks are the best. Like, going over 25 cards it's very rough, especially in the later ascension. It's not that you cannot do that, it's just not ideal. So another removal. We don't need strikes. I find myself removing strikes on pretty much all the characters. Like, I haven't removed defenses in a while. I don't know why. It just feels like you have many more good attack options than the defend options. So removing defenses feels weird. Here, obviously, I'm using my skills first before the attacks, simply because the more cards you use, the more damage you deal. So got got baited by a claw here. I love claw builds, but it didn't feel right. We are going with the lightning, and we have everything we need. Honestly, at this point, I don't really even need to pick any cards up. Like, I just remove cards and maybe get some extra draw or something. But for the most part, like, I would say the deck is done for the for this ascension. Doesn't really need anything to win, except playing right and maybe getting some good draws. Like, getting my setup on turn 3 isn't ideal, but still we get through, right? Like, yeah, we'll lose HP, but at this point, doesn't matter. Not really. If we win the fight, we heal back to full, so quite happy losing some HP just to win. Yeah, another kind of dead hand, I would say. Nothing much going on. Honestly, we're just fishing for the Tempests and hot fixes. Yeah, lightning to evoke, Tempest to evoke again. Here, all for one after the claw would have been just amazing, but we go for the Shatter instead. And here, kind of a tough choice, because I did want to consider the quad upgrade. I also wanted to maybe use some skill at the start of the turn, like, again, Tempest, but quad cost is just too good for us, right? Every time we evoke lightning, we deal 16 damage after we have our setup, and with the quad cost, we evoke it 4 times, so that means we evoke 4 by 8, just 32 base damage without our powers, and on top of that, we deal 64, is it? I think it's 64 damage, so 90 damage plus just for using that 0 card. It's quite good. It's quite good. And if you get hotfix going as well on that turn, it's just insane. Like even here, we cleared the encounter just by using the quad cost off the bat. Again, thunder, lightning, hotfix, strike, and quad cost. The fight is over. That's it. One turn. Storm was an interesting choice, but we're not a power build here. The Storm is good if we are going for powers, right? But here, if we get our Thunders before the Storm, we get no value out of it, so we just skip it. Yeah, got a card, just in case. But here, again, we're fishing for a setup. Luckily for us, we are not actually attacking, so our lightning is doing the damage, so we're not getting that many dazes, which of course you get from attacking the enemy. So we got our setup. We're just looking for the Tempests and what costs now. Go for the eyes, doesn't do anything this turn, but I'm pretty sure we'll finish. Yeah, we'll finish this fight pretty much instantly. Dark Orbs, don't really need. Boost Away and Boot Sequence are both good options. I went for the Boot Sequence simply because, well, if we need something on turn 1, we'll have it, and if not, we don't have to play the Boot Sequence. We can just let it go into the discard pile and come back to us some other time. The setup here is a little bit weak. We didn't get our second power, so we didn't finish the fight immediately, but I mean, we're still good. Here we will pretty much win on the spot, I believe. Yeah. Just strike and I didn't even need to use all the cards. We just win. Hologram was actually a consideration briefly there, but again, we're running a thin deck. We go through our cards quite fast, so could I use it? Maybe, but then again, I don't really need it. Especially like if we get to turn one, it's just that card at that point. So yeah, removing cards again. I did keep one strike simply because just a fight before it actually saved us the turn. So I figured might as well keep it around for a little bit. Giving ethereal to our defenses didn't seem like a right choice. FTL could have been fun, but do we really need it? Not really. And here, I'm actually looking at defense, but realistically, Shatter is the one that has to go. Simply because we haven't used it once since picking it up. And, it pains me to pick up a gold card or a rare card and then remove it, but it saw no use so far. And keeping it for this particular fight might have been the right choice, but at the same time, like after the Simipide, I believe, the Simipede, the Similipede. Oh wow, such a tough name. After this fight, I don't really see use in Shatter anymore. So if we can get through this fight, then we're fine, and we definitely can get through this fight. A nice thing about the hotfixes also is that they boost your frost orbs quite a bit, and at the 0 cost to focus, it's actually insane the value you're getting from it. And quad cost here just to finish the fight. Ethereal Feather is actually really nice for me because now I get to use some upgrades on the rest sides instead of only resting as I've been doing thus far. I don't think I've actually upgraded anything since getting the relic that upgrades your cards, so it's crazy how much damage I'm taking, even though the fights are over quite fast. And here's an example. Yeah, we take, what was it, 10 damage right off the bat, and it's going to get a little bit more. What cost? Yeah, okay. Boost away could be a good one. We are lacking defenses, so I'm starting to pick some up. And Ethereal Feather here does its thing. We get healed up a little bit, just enough to get us through this fight. We got our Thunder, at least first one, immediately, so that's a good card to have. We duplicate it just to move the fight along faster, and I just front load the damage. I see no point piling up the lightnings here. I want to get through this fight as quickly as I possibly can. Yeah, boost away, coming in handy, and hologram for the quad cost, just for some extra damage. And look at that, turn 3 and the fight is pretty much over. Like another good turn and we win. Of course we don't get the good turn, so we have to take damage and the fight goes on, but we're getting to the point where we pretty much win. Hologram is actually helping us a little bit. Not enough to win on the spot, but it turned a turn that wasn't that great into a okay turn. And here another all for one, which would have been great with the 0 cost cards, but of course we go for the machine learning simply because extra draw just cannot hurt you. Like it's great. It's I think you can fit it into any deck and you'll be happy. It's a one cost power, gets out of your deck, and you draw extra card every turn. That's just amazing. A little bit of planning here, nothing crazy, just trying to hit some elites. Since we are not upgrading that much, we're resting on the rest sides, or we have been for the most part. I figured if we hit a couple of elites, we'll get 4 or 8 or whatever card upgrades. Again, just a good idea. Placing weak on the back lines, so we get 10 damage instead of 15. And yeah, a little bit of Tempest, a little bit of Quad Cast, and we are golden. Just doing some calculations, see if we can finish the fight, and we definitely can. Vulnerable does nothing for us, so Block Potion is the way to go. FTL again was a consideration, but we don't really need it, so I didn't bother picking it up. Tempest into Quad Cast is pretty much the way to go here. Unfortunately, we don't have our Thunder power up just yet, so we didn't finish the fight right away. But we are getting close to that, especially now that we have Hologram into the Quad Cast. With the Quad Cast, Hologram became just amazing, actually. Sweeping Beam, I looked at it, I looked at the fight ahead of us, and I figured, well, there's only 2 targets. Sweeping Beam is not going to do much for us. Bag of Prep was a good choice, but Bowler Hat didn't really matter at this point, so getting 8 block on first power use, with 6 block, sorry, seems decent enough, right? It's not the greatest, but it certainly helps. And there goes our machine learning. Hologram back the Tempest, I'm assuming. No, Tesla Coil, alright. Just to get the first target out of the way. And yeah, I didn't want to take damage, so I probably didn't have to do all of that, but I felt safe enough that I can just throw some potions into the mix. And we're about to do the Quad Cast to finish the fight. I actually could have used it before I used any other cards, but it's it's just a habit. Wouldn't have changed much here. Hot fixes into the hologram would be my guess. Oh yeah, the quad cast is not in the draw pile anymore, of course. Another boost away was probably an overkill. First turn would be terrible for us with 2 innate cards, but this way we get to keep our cards. And yeah, here actually the what's the name? The Permafrost, I believe the name of the relic is. Can never remember. Giving us 6 extra block on power use was actually great. We get a bunch of burn cards, but it doesn't really matter. The enemy is not attacking this turn. We will grab some extra block. And yeah. Tesla Coil for the damage. We will take some damage. Actually, we will not, because we evoked the Frost Orb. So here we're safe. 40 incoming damage. We'll try to block as much as possible, but 40 is a little bit out of my reach, especially since enemy has Artifact. So yeah, but we can use Quad Cast to finish the fight. So the best block is killing the enemy. We essentially blocked 40 damage by killing them. Skim, a good choice. We don't have that much energy, but having card draw on a turn that is not great, or just fishing for your powers early, is definitely a good choice. Removal of the cards was a tough sell at 150, simply because there's not much left to remove, but you know, we could go for it. Then again, probably extra health was better at this point, but I was set on removing something, so I did that. Skim is the good choice here. Extra card doesn't hurt ever. And this fight turned out to be a little bit harder than I expected. We got our powers early. We pretty much got everything we wanted early, but it didn't go all that well, if I recall correctly. Yeah, hotfixes go out. Another thunder, cold-headed. Maybe we did finish it early. I can never remember. Almost, yeah. So there goes some damage already, but luckily, yeah, with summon cards, never mind. I'm mixing things up already. None of these work for us, unfortunately, so just keep going. We don't need to rest. We can upgrade something. Yeah, boost away was the choice here, simply because we reuse it, unlike the boot sequence. And there we go, getting some cards, always good. Really, the card draw currently is quite good. Like, if you have card draw, you're usually doing great. Yeah, we have our Tempest online, and here I miscalculated actually. I thought I would finish the fight, but I didn't pay attention to the Frost Orb, which was in front, so we evoked that one, and it did no damage. We blocked only, and it's not the end of the world. In the later ascensions, that this might have cost us some health in the long run, but here, not really. We just finished the fight next turn anyway, so we're good to go. We don't need to pick up anything. I'm quite happy with the 19 cards we have. And this fight could be problematic. I realize here that I don't really have that much block. And yeah, not using Thunder early was a mistake. So I had to make up for it by drinking a potion, which is okay. I mean, using potions on the elite fights, in my opinion, is a good choice. Obviously, if you can get away without using potions, that's the best. But other than that, yeah, use the potion on the elite fight if you're not sure that you're going to one-shot it, and save yourself some HP. And we actually run out of cards to upgrade. We have a deck of a fully upgraded deck. And here, since in the early access this is the last boss, I immediately use the potions, except for the weak potion, simply because I want to save it for the queen on the turn when we get rid of the torch head. The queen will do a multi-attack, and yeah, I wasn't sure if we'll be lucky enough to draw our defenses for that one, so I kept the weak just for that specific turn. Nothing too crazy here. This is another example of card draw being strong. Since you can use only one of the 3 cards due to Queen's debuff, one of the 3 first drawn cards, you have limited options for your turn, and having a card draw negates that. You get to draw and make some better choices. From here on, the plan is quite simple. Go through your deck quickly, get to your quad cast quickly, evoke the orbs, deal however much damage those evoked orbs deal, and 16 damage on top every time. It's crazy how much damage you actually get with the thunder. It's very strong, and at 1 cost, it's just great. Yeah, this is the turn where we use weak potion. Very handy. We went from, what was it, 35 damage to 25. We even have some block to go with it, so quite happy. We almost block all of it, so potion well spent. And hologram, yeah, I had to check if quadcast is in there. It's not, so we have to draw first. then we quadcast, and we actually get to hologram and quadcast again. And with that, I would say we finished the fight, but again, I miscalculate. I haven't paid attention to the location of the Frostmark, but our stone calendar, the relic that we picked up a long time ago, which procs on the 7th turn and never had any chance, actually procs here. And with that, we clear Ascension 1 on Defect. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this run. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next time.